Hi everyone, welcome back to that anime review. We are reviewing an anime called Grandma and Grandpa Get Young Again. Now it's pretty much to the point. But there's actually a main simple plot. There are two major plots in this anime. One with the main characters and one with the side characters, which we'll get into later. So our main characters are Grandma and Grandpa. I'm going to say that to their faces because that's what they call themselves and that's how they call each other that, which is fucking messed up to the point you guys are fucking married. Like say his fucking real name, you fucking bitch, or fucking douchebag dick. But anyway, let's just say they own an apple orchard. They do own an apple orchard, which is kind of interesting, and I'll explain that later. So, when they decide to save a tree from dying, even though it's already dead, the dead tree decides to produce a golden apple. When they pick the golden apple and eat it, they turn young again. That's pretty much why they become young again. So they turn young again. The tree that they saved gets disintegrated for some God knows fucking reason. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like it gets burned to the ground, burned to the fucking sticks or something. It's just it just gets disintegrated, which baffles the fuck out of me. And it's about and the only reason why they're saying, the only reason why the golden apple is there is because the grandma and grandpa worship a shrine that they love, and the shrine god decides to help them out. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, the major plot of the anime is that there are three major sections of the major plot of the grandma and grandpa. The first major plot is the fact that they figure out how the hourglass goes. If you must know, I made a short about the hourglass, which, you know, you could see it in my shorts, so to speak. But the hourglass shows up in a few, like 3 or 4 times. Now, the first time they show up, the grandpa decides to flip the hourglass and he turns old again. So if they do something with the hourglass or flip it, they turn old. So they can turn young and old, even though that's kind of fucking breaking laws of physics. And I don't understand that logic, but that's pretty much about it. So they flip the hourglass to get old, and they actually do that to benefit themselves of getting cheaper train tickets and stuff, because elderly people get discounts on train rides, which I think is freaking fucking funny. That when they do that, they freaking like they freaking sleep on the train and then turn young again. And the freaking stewardess, the person that gives the tickets out, she's like flabbergasted. Like, what the fuck? Aren't you guys supposed to be old and stuff? And that's what happened. So yeah, they do kind of fuck up on there. The second time it happens, the grandma gets too young because she shatters the hourglass and she becomes her young self with her hair not white but her original hair, and she doesn't have any memory of marrying her husband, which is kind of messed up. So he tries to make sure that she remembers, and she does at some point, so I think that's really good. So eventually at the end of the episode he decides it. And the third one is the one that's more serious, because the grandmother was sick before they ate the apple. So her sand of the hourglass goes down quicker than the grandfather's. So the grandfather decides to take half of his sand that's still going down to her grandmother so they can die together, which I think is really noble and kind, but that's how much they love each other, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, that's the major plot point. Pretty much that's the whole entire major plot. I mean, they do die in the end of the last episode, and the reason why I know that is because at the end of the credits there's a flashback of 50 years into the future of the second major plot point, which is the guy with the hat and their granddaughter. Their granddaughter is a girl who shows up. She's the first character that knows that they turn young again, and she falls in love with the guy with the hat, which you'll find out in the last episode, because they do marry each other, which is kind of interesting, and they do flirt each other around a lot. That's the only major plot line, because the rest of the fucking there is a third couple that's in there, which is their other granddaughter, but she likes a guy where the guy that she likes, he is trying to figure out how to turn people young again, because his grandparents actually are in the anime itself, and they actually also ate the golden apple, and that means that they are, how do I explain it? They are young, just like the main characters, which I think is really unique, but they only show up in like a few episodes. So yeah, by the way, this anime is kind of short. There's only 11 episodes. That's the same number, well no, it doesn't have the same number of episodes as Foolie Cooley. But it has the same number of episodes as Dead Man Wonderland, which I can think is kind of interesting, so to speak. But what I can't really do anything about in the future, I don't think there's going to be a second season. Because the two main characters, the grandma and grandpa, die at the end. Because after the credits, like I said before, they go to the 50 years into the future. And now the granddaughter and the guy with the hat are married, and they own the apple orchard, so it's just like that. And they actually find the golden apple as well, and they decide to eat it, but then they just end the anime right then and there. Now then, when it comes to anime that make references to other animes, I'm actually flabbergasted that this anime made a reference to Initial D. Like, what the fuck? And it's not just the original Initial D. The guy does a fucking gutter run with his truck, which I made a short of it, although you can't see the gutter run. But I kind of figured it was a gutter run because the guy's like, his tires in the fucking gutter, even though you can't really see it as much. And then after that, which it doesn't show up, the characters that saw the gutter run, that got passed by the fucking truck that looks like fucking ridiculous, two punk ass bitches who are fucking delinquents. They think it's a ghost, which, if you must know, that's Takahashi's when he says that there's an 8-6 ghost and he thinks it's a ghost, that's what the reference is, which I think is really interesting. I did not expect them to do an Initial D reference, which is kind of flabbergasting. But it just goes to show you that if you get more references and you still get references even after 2024, because this anime came out in 2024, that means that the anime is a good anime and everyone should watch Initial D. But that's a quick side note. Now, there's only like a few other references, but I didn't pick it up because I'd probably never watched the anime. Because this anime is just like what happens when they can turn young and old again, and benefits and stuff, and this, that, and the other thing. It's just like the whole entire year they just go on shenanigans and stuff like that. Like, the only major plot point is the hourglass thing, which I did show off in the first episode. But other than that, though, every episode's fun comedy. It's fucking hilarious. So that's pretty much about it. I mean, the two granddaughters have a romantic relationship brewing with two other characters, but they don't really show up. Like the second granddaughter that they show, she doesn't have romantic. They just put her in a romantic relationship right off the gate because of the fact that they need to do something with her because she's doing this. They also have a grandchild, a younger boy, the grandchild, which she loves her grandparents, but you know, this, that, and the other thing. Now, it does end, the anime does end where the hourglass empties all its sand and the grandparents die, but that's pretty much about it. Then they, like I said before, twice now, that they moved to 50 years in the future, so they're probably not going to make a new season. Even if they do, I don't know what to do after that. Maybe with the granddaughter marrying the guy with the hat, which, you know, whatever. But I might give this anime a 6 out of 10. It was fun, it was good, but I just feel like that total nonsense will get you so far into an anime's lifespan. Like, that's probably why it only has 11 episodes instead of the original 12 or 12 to 14 episodes like most animes do in the season. Like, that makes no fucking sense. Like, even fucking the Dead Man Wonderland only has 11 seasons, even though it has 11 episodes, and it has a 12th episode, but that's an OVA. But anyway, I'm giving this anime a 6 out of 10. What are you guys' thoughts on the anime? Like I said before, there's only one major plot, and that's the hourglass one. Other than that, though, it's just random nonsense on what the grandma and grandpa do on a daily basis with their grandkids, their fucking family, and stuff like that. And I think that's really interesting, to be honest with you. But that's my thoughts. If you want to watch it, it will probably take you like a day. It's not that. It's not. It's short and it's not that long. It's only 11 episodes. So, also it's also subbed, so you can't watch it dubbed. So I hope you guys have a nice positive day, and always stay positive.